I keep my ear to the ground when it comes to entertainment in multiple different venues, and on gaming and Hollywood, and then in the TV space as well. And because there is just, so much content on a regular basis, I think TV's probably the easiest one to pay attention to. But if it wasn't for the fact that articles like this pop up, I would have totally forgotten about the Skeleton Crew. And you know what? Most people have, because you take a look at this, Skeleton Crew's premiere fails to chart on top 10 streaming original list. Yo, this thing, like I said before, like there were a couple of people that went, it's fine, I guess. Like that was the most praise that you were going to get from it. Somebody just simply saying it's like a 4 or a 5, and maybe people that were, expecting a little bit more, or just hoping for something a little bit better than baseline, or maybe a little bit more critical of it, but anybody willing to give it a chance was waiting for a couple more episodes to come out in order to see if any of the payoffs that were being set up would actually arrive. But it looks like nobody cares about this, because we're a week removed, and I haven't heard anything about that juicy episode 3 where it's supposed to have all of these, gay moms and single dads and all of that stuff. Didn't hear hide nor hair about that, and I watch and consume a fair amount of content in the entertainment sphere, and nobody talked about Skeleton Crew this week. Nobody. It wasn't even mentioned, referenced, or anything like that. Even if people were bringing up Star Wars with an active show going on, with an active live-action show going on, nobody mentioned it. It's a metaphorical tree in a forest. If a Star Wars show in the post-Acolyte landscape lands and streams, and nobody watches it, did it even stream to begin with? And chances are that answer is no. A 2-episode premiere, yes, of the latest Star Wars series, and that would have clocked in, because from what I heard, episode 1 was over 40 minutes, and episode 2 was in on and around, that 25 to 30 minute mark. So yeah, you had more than an hour of content that's out there, and depending on the different ratings figures tracker that was out there, that could either mean it had a leg up on the competition, or that's just simply in regards to minutes watched. Or if they were looking at the view tracker, you had 2 episodes go out in the first week, so yeah, you have double the viewership potential. But clearly didn't really much matter either way. 2-episode premiere of the latest Star Wars series, Skeleton Crew failed to chart on the latest Illuminate top charts. Okay, I know they do minutes watch because they were the ones that were tracking, the bottom of the chart for the Acolyte this summer. Illuminate released their top 10 streaming original television charts via Variety, and Skeleton Crew is nowhere to be seen. As can be seen below the lowest show on the chart, The Day of the Jackal, which brought in 332.3 million minutes for the week of November 29th through December 5th. That means the Skeleton Crew had even less watch time, which I'm pretty sure when we last talked about the Acolyte, I'm sure that, Fandom Pulse more than likely has a comparison on that. I think that it's relatively comparable, at least to later outings. But yeah, you take a look at the top of that. The Madness, haven't heard about that. Landman, yeah, another Taylor Sheridan project that I'm seeing is getting rave reviews. 1.2 billion views. That's fairly impressive. Cold Case, yeah, makes sense. And a true crime gimmick. Lioness, Taylor Sheridan. I haven't heard of that one. Okay. I'm fairly well abreast of those Taylor Sheridan productions. Like, I've heard of and seen referenced a lot of them. Your Yellowstone, your Tulsa Kings, and of course Landman, but not Lioness. Interesting. Oh, yeah, there's Tulsa King again, and it just wrapped up its second season. Looks like Sly wants to come back and do a lot more because, yeah, it's super successful. And then you have Lioness season 1. Interesting. And then, yeah, the Later Daters, whatever that is, probably another reality show. And then Day of the Jackal down there at the bottom. Wow, that's wild. But it's unclear if Skeleton Crew performed worse than the Acolyte. Yeah, Illuminate reported that the Acolyte's 2-episode premiere only garnered 210 million minutes watched when it debuted back in June. So, oh, yeah, because those were Illuminate figures, and it just goes to show you that even during a much softer period for television, the Acolyte still wasn't a success. That would be wild if Skeleton Crew was even worse than that. Because even as mundane as people have been saying that Skeleton Crew is, it's better than the Acolyte. Just from the clips that I've seen, it's way better than the Acolyte. Yeah, this is the brand damage and the knock-on effect from crap like this. But the Acolyte did see minutes watch increase to 380.5 million in its second week. So after 3 episodes were out, then it ended up jumping up quite a bit because you had those 3 episodes to churn out, and those were I'm pretty sure it was a protracted first episode, and then you started to get your 25, 28 minute long video episodes after that. So yeah, that would make sense, but holy crap, man. The fact that the Skeleton Crew did not even chart is a very bad sign for Walt Disney Company and Lucasfilm, and shows that everything that the company has done to Star Wars, and also Indiana Jones, but more on that on Sunday, the past decade has significantly eroded the Star Wars fan base, brand and fan base. They have turned people off rather than draw them in, which is exactly why we have Disney Plus advertisers abandoning ship as Star Wars and Marvel shows underperform. Yep. And this is that knock-on effect, man. You release enough slop that finally the normies, which was, I guess, the straw that broke the camel's back with the Acolyte there, and your general audience, because when it came to the coverage of the Acolyte, that stuff was far more hilarious and far more successful than the base product was in any conceivable metric. A show made for the modern audience, guess what, was viewed by the modern audience, and the modern audience is negligible. That's the thing, man. When there's a perception, especially with the normies, that something isn't for them, something doesn't pass the smell test, your brand is toast. We'll see something a little bit more definitive in the realm of Marvel with Captain Black Falcon America Man coming out in February if Deadpool and Wolverine was simply an aberration, or if it ends up having a positive effect with the rest of Marvel, or if we're going to be running back to the doldrums of 2023, because you remember, the only film that broke even was Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but that had a lot of build-up and a lot of goodwill in the way that it was marketed, and yeah, it's the culmination of a trilogy of a relatively successful sub-franchise for Marvel. But you couldn't say the same for Ant-Man, arguably the most inoffensive trilogy that Marvel has done under the MCU banner. And then, of course, The Marvels itself being a $900 million drop-off from the $1.1 billion super hit from 2019. So Cap 4, that's going to be very interesting, but could be bolstered by the idea that some normies have in their head that, oh, I just heard that Chris Evans, the Captain America, is coming back, so if he's going to be there, oh, there's a new Cap movie that's coming out, maybe he'll be in it. But then again, most normies, if they're going to be checking out Captain African America, they're going to be going, hey, where's Steve? Where's Captain America in this Captain America movie? Because we got Indiana Jones, we got Han Solo, but where's Steve? I don't see Steve. But as for the TV series, I mean, bro, it's most successful and the only Marvel TV series to get a second season. It's a year removed and nobody's talking about that. Remember Loki season 2? Exactly. Loki's a tree now, okay? But Agatha just ended not that long ago. Everybody was really excited about that one. Tell me about it, because there was a bunch of freaks that were in the comment sections downvoting my videos on it. It's like, bro, nobody's watching this stuff. Actually, there's a bunch of creeps that are on the internet and stupid shipping communities. It's like, okay, well, I'll just continue to laugh at the failure and you continue to cope and seethe in my comment section. Thanks, I guess. And now, once again, I mean, the facts are laid out there bare for you to see, and if you want to ignore reality, you do you, I guess. And that's not even to talk about anything that's happening, with Star Wars. The fact that nobody's paying attention to any of the stuff that they did, because for a consistent period of time, they were producing crap after crap after crap, burning the goodwill that they could have potentially had. They went from ruining their own canon with, Mandalorian Season 3 to taking a dump on the stuff that made Star Wars big and important to begin with the Book of Boba Fett and with Obi-Wan. Ruined everything and got it to a point where it's going to be at least 7 years between cinematic releases when you had a plan to have one every year. Hilarious. But Disney Plus is facing significant challenges as advertisers reportedly pull their campaigns from the platform. The streaming service original content has failed to meet the impressions threshold outlined in ad contracts, creating dissatisfaction among advertisers. The ad-supported tier of Disney Plus was intended to solve the company's streaming challenges. However, low audience engagement with major Star Wars and Marvel shows, which is probably why they're creating this revolutionary idea, where they're going to be putting their streaming shows on a 24-hour loop that you can click on. Oh wow, Disney just discovered the channel format in 2025. Good for you. But yes, has led to below average impressions. In response, Disney is reportedly trying to shift advertisers to broadcast television in an effort to retain their business and avoid costly refunds. Yeah, but I know you bought advertising space. Can we go ahead and shift that over to like ABC or something like that? This is leading to Disney Plus just simply being a subcategory in Hulu, folding that in over there because Disney Plus is an utter failure. The issue came to light in a recent video by Valiant Renegade. Valiant joined by Kiss My Grits, by potential an advertising professional speaking anonymously, providing insight into Disney's struggles. And basically what is happening is Disney Plus with Disney Plus, is Disney Plus is struggling right now to fulfill the obligations that it's promising to advertisers. KMG explained, citing conversations within industry contacts in New York City. Now, what I mean by this is whenever you agree to advertise on a platform like Disney Plus, you're always guaranteed a certain amount of impressions. Yeah, exactly. Hey, we regularly are seen by this amount of people. Would you like to advertise on our platform that will see your advertisement this reliable level? This many eyeballs are going to be on this, ergo this is why we can charge this rate. It's just, that's basic understanding, right? It's just recently, within the past couple of days, actually a couple of days ago, it was the Game Awards, right? And Jeff Keighley and some of the advertiser numbers out of that came out, and yeah, I think it was for a main show spot, it was a cool $250,000, $250,000 to get one of your trailers played. Okay, so Jeff Keighley, I lost track of how many trailers were on that night, but he made several $1 million by just simply letting some ads run, mostly because I think peak numbers for the Game Awards, yeah, their stream alone, not talking about any other restreamers or commentators over the top of that holding watch parties, the main stream got over 1.1 million viewers. Okay, that's significant. And then also, yeah, factoring in the different watch parties that are out there, and then of course VOD views and different clips that are going to go out on social media channels. Like there's an argument to be made that no other gaming centric show this year is going to do better numbers than that. So yeah, the $250,000 for marketing, you could arguably say that that's a steal, as opposed to over there on Disney Plus, a diminishing platform that has to do some creative accounting to say, well, actually it turned a profit this quarter. Sure thing. But yes, Disney Plus is struggling to fulfill obligations that they have been promising, so they're under-delivering by vast amounts on several of the campaigns that are running on the platform. And as a result of what is happening, the advertisers are obviously not very happy, and they're pulling their money from those campaigns. They're saying, all right, if you're not meeting the delivery that you promised me, I'm placing that money elsewhere. KMG further explained that advertisers have lost faith in Disney Plus as a platform and are redirecting their ad dollars to cable and broadcast and networks, which, yeah, this is why I'm really thinking, and many other people have pointed this out, that Disney Plus in the very near future, in order just for a sheer economic understanding, just going to fold Disney Plus into another much more successful platform that they bought for an exorbitant fee in Hulu. Like, that totally makes sense. They just have this one uniform streamer because there's going to have to be a realignment because the streaming bubble burst, okay? You could say that it probably burst at the end of 2023 and everybody is just simply figuring out how they're going to be moving going forward. Sony, for how many flops that they have in the theater right now and have had this year as well, they're going to come out the other side of this fine because they don't have a proprietary streaming service. They just license everything out to people and they're fine, they're cool, and that's all well and good in the aftermath. But you see how Paramount is struggling, and then even just simply going back to those Luminate figures for what we have the most recent episodes that are out there. I mean, they have all of the Taylor Sheridan projects, and they're on the doorstep to bankruptcy. They're going to have to go back, and we're going to have to go back to the old cable TV model of licensing out your properties. There's going to be a Netflix, there's going to be Hulu, there might be a couple of other ones, but the time when every network, when there was Peacock, I don't even know if Fox ever got in on theirs. I guess that would be in the Hulu stuff, but having like CNN go their own way instead of just being in with Max and HBO, them doing their own thing. Like this segmented market, I think we're going to vastly see that shrink in 2025. How we're going to start to have a proper realignment. And you take a look at what's happening with YouTube TV and its spiking revenue. Yeah, we're vastly and quickly getting to a point that I've talked about since the inception of my channel, where we're going to have the online space start to replicate all of the failures of cable TV. And we're just going to be back to the same problems that we were trying to escape by creating these streaming services all those years ago. Can't wait for that crap. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.